soups there, we'll be using current Yuji, and the TV show version of the 7 as of season 4. To raise the stakes...
Ah, shit! Okay. Hopefully there's no spoilers. Obviously JJK spoilers. Also the boy spoilers. But if there's spoilers on season 4 like crazy, I pick my nose, so I don't give a fuck. We gotta see what the fuck.
We'll use previous 7 members as well.
Okay, so the deep. Okay,
only the ones whose powers we've seen though. And
everyone.
who could
Okay.
actually make a difference. Each party involved is bloodlusted, and the fight takes place in the middle of Shinjuku. This will have spoilers for both series, by the way, up to chapter 263 of JJK and up to season 4 of The Boys, which as of recording just ended. Let's start by covering Yuji's. We'll begin with
Okay.
highballing in this video.
I'm halfway through, or more than halfway through season 4.
The person I focus on in the video gets highballed because they're usually facing some sort of challenge, and that way we can see if they could do anything at all. But we don't really need to do that here. We're going to use conservative estimates for Yuji. Personally, I like to upscale him to Hikari, who is lightning speed, and that puts him at massively hypersonic by default. Hikari is faster than lightning, and so is Sukuna, both keeping up with Kashimo. Not only has Yuji been keeping up with Sukuna,
I was gonna say he was boxing Sukuna before they defeated his ass.
Speed, and given the comparisons between Yuta and Hikari, Hikari's speed feats help upscale Yuta, which in turn upscales Yuji. Even if we want to absolutely lowball Yuji to an insane extent, like a really insane lowball, current Yuji isn't anywhere below hypersonic. Regardless of where you place
Shit,
Yuji's
bright as
speed,
fuck.
he has a massive speed advantage here. This is for combat speed, by the way, not traversal speed. Although, for what it's worth, for traversal speed, Yuji could actually run at superhuman speeds before he even controlled cursed energy. Usually I wouldn't cover traversal speed because it doesn't really matter much in these battles, but for speedsters like A-Train and I feel like this is important in this specific video. As for Yuji's current travel speed, we don't know how fast he can go, but we have a pretty impressive feat from Yuta and Todo in this arc. Yuta and Todo traveled from Lake Gosho to Shinjuku in a few minutes.
Yeah, they went crazy.
Depending on where in the colony he started and ended. There is the possibility that Weeby teleported them there in the first place, but that's for the first leg.
True. Or simple, Todo just used fucking Boogie Woogie, which is because you can spam that shit.
Weeby teleported them back there, especially since he was preoccupied with evacuating.
Oh, I know, but that boy was stunning on
his own rather than being teleported in. Todo using Boogie Woogie with projectiles could be a factor for traveling, although that would have just made the process more cumbersome since he would have had to repeatedly do this.
That's what I was like, just saying.
Yuta and Todo traveled 550 kilometers in 10 minutes one way. I'm using the 10 minutes as an estimate. We don't know the actual time, which means they'd have to travel at speeds of over 3,300 kilometers per hour, over Mach 2.6.
What the fuck? That's fast as shit.
10 minutes total. That's 6,600 kilometers per hour, which is over Mach 5.3.
That is fast as fuck. Okay, but A-Train is crazy fast, like crazy fast. That motherfucker can get in and out without being seen.
It definitely scales to Todo. So if this feat applies to him, it applies to Yuji too.
So I think
power and durability. Yuji's been pretty.
I think A-Train beats him 100% on speed. There's no way.
Black level for a while. He was able to fight with Hanami.
Oh yeah.
He was stated by Gege to be physically stronger than Jogo, and you saw what Jogo did in his fight against Sukuna.
What the fuck?
City blocks left and right.
What the fuck? They were taking Jogo. They're taking Jogo type hits. What the fuck?
And especially in the anime version, he was really impressive.
Oh yeah.
But even just based off manga feats and his meteor, he scales here.
Damn, then Hanami got bitched. Hanami got bitched for sure.
He's of course grown stronger physically since
she was definitely landing some shit on them.
Black flashes. He can't do this willingly, but he does it way more than an average swordsman can. And when he's in the zone, he can easily chain them.
Oh yeah, he chains the fuck out of them.
This draws out 120% of your power, but
and
the black flash itself has a damage boost in the power of 2.5. This is
not even that, but it also like
way greater. Although
like allows you to regain your CT if you hit it if you hit it at least 2-3 times or so, 3 times.
Didn't intend for the black flash to be that powerful, but he did. This page is him realizing.
Oh no, he definitely did.
Starts with a cursed energy of 1, which isn't even defined in the series. Then that
because this makes it a unique thing for Yuji at this point, from how often he can use it, even if it's not willingly. He can use it fairly often, more than the average sorcerer. Not even more than the average sorcerer. Can't even talk. Sorcerer. You know what I mean. He can really use it more than fucking Gojo and Nanami, who are more experienced. And Nanami had like a 4 chain in that one fight. But yeah. Damn, this bitch make it bright as fuck.
That's a long-winded way of saying
I should probably connect my
cracked. We have no idea how to quantify his cursed energy in numerical form, kind of like Gege said in that one page, but just know his power can be multiplied significantly when in the zone with black flashes. As for his abilities, even in a battle that doesn't involve Jujutsu, Yuji has a ton of useful things here. Cleave and Dismantle, for example, albeit weak, will allow for powerful attacks at range and up close. We've actually seen him use both Cleave and Dismantle by now. There's also Divergent Fist, and of course Black Flash for stronger attacks, like I said, although that's not on command. Yuji also has great healing. He has the first curse technique, and he has blood stitching to reattach limbs if anything's separated. Blood manipulation also helps his healing, but he could use that for attacks as well. He could presumably poison people with it just as the other death paintings could. But even though it is likely, and I think this is the case, it hasn't been confirmed as of recording, so we'll just ignore the poisoning part for the sake of the 7. Trust me, Yuji's not really gonna
poisoning.
And finally, Yuji could perceive the soul and attack.
Don't pay attention to my background, by the way.
Cleave and Dismantle.
What you mean poisoning?
Could. But even though it
because the blood.
Well.
Okay,
blood.
Yeah.
Poison people with it just as the other death paintings could.
Okay.
It is likely,
I see what you mean.
I think this is the case. It hasn't been confirmed as of recording, so we'll just ignore the poisoning part for the sake of the 7. Trust me, Yuji's not really gonna need it anyways.
I mean, he might.
Yuji could perceive the soul and attack it, not just with physical attacks, but Cleave and Dismantle
what the
as well.
fuck is this?
He actually did target Sukuna's soul with Dismantle. And for what it's worth, Yuji could also apply Binding Vows to himself because he did it in this battle too. Hit a black flash on the light
Binding Vows?
It lets me know you want to see more videos like
Binding
this.
Vows are low-key broken as fuck.
Really gonna be the 7
even though there is...
We won't go into most of these characters in depth since a lot of the powers overlap. So unless they've shown otherwise,
a lot of them are...
Supes are consistently shown to be much stronger than normal humans, but not always to a huge degree. Mostly they range around wall level, maybe small building level at some points. Speed-wise, most are simply superhuman. Like, let's start with the Deep, for example, because most
the Deep was fucking so fucking...
He would just rely on the fact that he's actually stronger than the average human. So, he's fighting at superhuman speeds, he has superhuman durability, as well as attack power. Most of his feats put him around wall level, and it's worth noting he has a weak spot with his skills. Next is A-Train. He's obviously a speedster who could just run.
That's like free body.
Obviously he's left the 7 by now, but we're including everybody his
Hold up!
A-Train actually does.
Oh, hell no! Oh. Sorry. I'm being too loud. Sorry.
Does have a speed shown on
fuck though. That's some bullshit. That just spoils so much. I knew he was gonna do it eventually.
So this should be his peak, especially since he's boosted by this point. This is around 830 miles per hour, barely above the speed of sound. For Black Noir, the original one, he's a ninja who's also somewhat powerful and slightly stronger than
only 800.
He's basically just a good close range fighter with enhanced senses as well.
Yeah.
As for the new Black Noir, he's less tactical, but as a soup, he still is powerful. And
the new Black Noir is
in his most recent fight, which I think is actually his only fight so far, he took point blank shotgun fire and minigun fire and survived. Although he was
I can't watch that.
Plus, the latter actually sent him flying out of a building. He wasn't pierced by the bullets, but the concussive power was enough to injure him. Next, Firecracker. She seems to scale.
Oh, fuck this bitch. I hate her.
Small building attack power and superhuman speed estimates, like I mentioned before.
Fuck her, she not on Kimiko level, bro. Kimiko can bust her ass like nothing. I got Kimiko in the ones.
Apply to her.
No diff. No
diff
the fuck out of her.
Capable of besides physical power. Her power to make sparks doesn't seem to do much, and she even applied this as well. Sister Slade too.
Fuck that bitch.
She's just a regular human.
Yeah, I'm about to say she ain't fucking strong.
Brain, just her brain. She's the smartest person in the world.
I would
so
fucking
in terms of combat, she won't
aim for the heart. No, she's not helpful.
But even with the lack of physical power, this
she's more there for background.
Especially after what just happened in the season 4 finale, she staged a coup of the entire U.S.
Hold
government,
up.
basically just to see if she could.
Don't even do that, bitch.
Person in the world. Weirdly enough, she's kind of similar to Kenjaku in the sense that they just do shit for fun. Like, she even says herself, she just wanted to do this to see if she could. Not really relevant, just a funny comparison I noticed. Lamplighter's here too. Physically, he's portrayed as not too powerful, but his fire manipulation is pretty strong. He could burn down houses and melt metal doors as well as cook people alive. So his fire seemingly burns really hot, but it doesn't really have a lot of range. Plus, he can't just create fire on his own. He usually uses a lighter or he needs to use another source of fire. But now we get onto some stronger soups, the ones who actually might do something here.
Homelander, Starlight.
Because her power depends on the energy she absorbs. Normally she's around wall to small building level like other regular soups, but significantly.
But they're in the Shinjuku. Motherfucker, that whole city, that's a crazy big city.
Increased with absorbed power. The strongest feat she's shown is holding off Soldier.
I should not watch this.
But she didn't really injure him much, and this required a lot of charge.
Oh wait, no, I've ever seen that.
Comparison can easily destroy multiple buildings at a time, and was briefly able to match Homelander in a fight. I would think City Block level is a good estimate for him, and we'll get to Homelander in a moment. But Soldier Boy actually scales to some of Homelander's feats. He was stated to be
it's because his fucking son
stronger and overpowered him. So her strongest.
It's his fucking son, bruh. No shit.
Considering it didn't really do too much to Soldier Boy. Maybe City Block level if you scale Soldier Boy higher. But this is just based on what we know now, because seemingly it looks like Starlight got a little stronger after Season 4. She got her powers back in the finale, and the last scene of her is her flying away. Actually, surprisingly fast too.
Oh,
So
what the fuck? The last time I saw her, she could only like hold it for like 3 seconds. She was just hovering, bruh. And then she felt like she was about to fucking pass out.
Not being able to use her powers the whole season. So
That's
it would be a little hard to scale her
stupid.
right now. Because
That's stupid. That's stupid then. Because if she just fucking all of a sudden can do that, hell no. Nah.
That's power. But this is just based on what we've seen already. As for Stormfront, physically she's around small building.
Fuck that bitch. I hate her.
Large building level if we really want to push her.
We can't even use her, bruh. She's dead as fuck.
She has flight and can use plasma.
Yeah, she's OP as fuck, actually.
She's relatively fast compared to other soups.
She's very OP.
Maeve is one of the stronger soups as of her last appearance.
Oh
she
yeah.
can be scaled below Soldier Boy's level. Her
Yeah.
most notable abilities are her combat skills and her physical strength. We'll assume the higher estimate and make her city block level, and we can assume her combat speed is relative to Homelander, who she did keep up with. And the last time we saw her was supposedly her at her strongest, because in the past she broke every bone in her arm just from catching a bus, which would make her less impressive, so we're going with the high balls. Trust me, they're gonna need the high balls. I'm not being unfair.
I don't remember that.
I'm just trying to be as fair to them as possible. Now on to Homelander. Homelander is obviously the strongest within the 7 as of now, and pretty much within the verse, so a lot of focus will be on him. Homelander said before he put New York City off the map for fun, and in one of the official books about the show's production, this was reiterated, and stated that it would take a few minutes. On the high end, this would obviously make him city level, but that would imply he has attacks that could actually destroy the entire city. More likely, this means he could just fly around the city really quick, destroying individual buildings with his strength and lasers, and that's
hell no.
I also found one other feat that I didn't consider before, thanks to KLOL506 for this calculation.
If I was Homelander, I'm just going to the middle of the city and just turning my bitch on. Spinning in a circle. Fuck that.
In the animated Diabolical series,
I want to go in the sky.
Describes a chemical plant exploding, which is around city block level. So, using the statement of him destroying NYC, him being city block level makes sense, at least in terms of durability. Instead of one city level attack, he could probably accomplish this with multiple quick city block level attacks. So he scales from city block level to multi-city block level. It might sound like I'm splitting hairs here, but destroying a city with a single attack is different from destroying a city with a bunch of different multi-city block level attacks. With that logic, that would mean any city block level person technically could be city level with enough time. So that's why I'm not outright saying Homelander is city level here. He is also the fastest in terms of raw speed. A-Train is obviously the dedicated speed user of the group, but Homelander has better speed feats. And unlike A-Train,
because he can fucking fly.
Explosions, which gives
he can fly and
speeds.
I was gonna say, and then he can just
at least supersonic, given how fast he's been shown to fly around at various points.
Yeah.
He's also faster than fighter jets.
I was gonna say, because he can fly, that means he can boost how fast he can go.
And had a recorded speed of 1,852
What the fuck?
On the show. Yes, he's reacted to lasers before, but no, that doesn't make him light speed. You'd first have to prove that those eye lasers actually move at light speed.
Yeah.
His lasers or others in the show aren't shown or stated to act like light or move at light speed, so
they're
you
just
can't necessarily say that. That's a big misconception we usually have with
it's not
lasers,
instant.
So I just want to get ahead of that before anyone says he's light speed. He's not.
He's not.
Now into the fight itself.
That makes sense.
You could probably see why I included everyone else by now.
Yeah.
Doing shit.
A lot of them don't do nothing.
Everyone here, the only 4 that could do anything are Homelander, Maeve, Stormfront, and Starlight, with the latter needing to charge electricity to do so. We're doing the fight in the middle.
Did he
of the
talk?
City, so
am I tripping, or did he ever talk about?
First off, Yuji absolutely
invisible dude. I forget his
all
name.
Like, what the f is the Deep gonna do against him in a city setting? If A-Train's lucky, he survives a bit longer from dodging, but in terms of combat speed, he's still cooked. Once Yuji decides to focus on him,
for sure,
not gonna really do much. And even with travel speed, he's still cooked, because if that feat from before is accurate, Yuji could actually run faster than A-Train by a good margin.
What the
low end of Yuji's travel speed is over double A-Train's
top speed. What the fuck?
Yuji would catch him and everybody else.
That is crazy. I was gonna say, what if A-Train just does him like Blackhawk, like just grabs him and drags him? But that motherfucker Yuji gonna catch his ass
and attack from a distance with heat vision. But Yuji's faster than him too.
Oh no, he got
speed with travel too.
He got
that one picture of Darkseid.
Yeah.
It'll be like that when Homelander tries to escape. Plus, Yuji could jump really far and high. Not to mention, he has range attacks too.
That boy, I was about to say, he has range attacks too.
Sister
you don't just
know how to
close
strategize,
range.
but the thing is, she would know nothing about Yuji. She's the smartest person in the world, but she doesn't have infinite knowledge about everyone right off the bat. She would likely have to see what Yuji could do first before.
So she would probably, I was gonna say, she's probably gonna sit back.
Are going to follow her plans accordingly. Maeve and Stormfront hold Yuji off, Starlight charges, and Homelander attacks him from a distance. First off, Yuji could dodge all of their attacks. Maeve doesn't even have any range, but Stormfront does have some. Although, if he is hit by her blast, they won't be harming him much. Lamplighter might actually be able to do something to Yuji because he can't tolerate really high heat, it seems.
True.
But that all depends on Lamplighter's limit for how hot
I was gonna
his
say that motherfucker gotta get
range that he has. If the city is just destroyed
in
as
his
is and there's a lot of
face.
fire around, that might be good for him, especially with his fire being hot enough to melt through a steel door pretty much instantly. So his flames might actually be pretty powerful. Issue is, they're probably not going to be fast enough or have enough range to get Yuji. And if he gets close, Yuji can get out of the way quickly enough, or just hit him with that strong cleave. Maybe they can try and restrain Yuji while someone else attacks him with their power.
Fuck no.
But that's not going to work either. If anyone gets close to Yuji, that's the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
They're better off.
Yeah, they're better off going distance and throwing shit, throwing shit at him, or doing some shit from range, because Yuji's gonna go stupid if they go close to him. He got crazy. Is that the Fortnite skin?
Fighting at a
That's Fortnite skin, Yuji. Like active. But as I was saying, Yuji's gonna hit them motherfuckers with Black Flash if he gets in the mood.
Yuji excels at close quarters combat here. His physical attacks are devastating, and he could slash
deadly as fuck. I was gonna say.
And at a distance, he has blood manipulation, so he could use convergence or supernova. Even dismantle might work here too.
Yeah.
Granted, those attacks don't seem to travel too fast, so maybe they could be dodged, and that's why they have to fight at the range to have a better chance. Even his weaker slashes
he gets
are
right on them.
everyone besides maybe more durable soups like Homelander, Maeve, and Stormfront. Deep, both Black Noirs, Sage, and Firecracker.
But in the long run, Yuji wins. He has way more durability. Because even from the fight with just fucking with Soldier Boy and Butch, he was already getting fucking tired and was getting
A-Train wouldn't be able to do anything, but might live longer solely because Yuji is fighting all these people at once, and A-Train's durability is debatable. She does seem to be pretty durable, but her attack power doesn't upscale her durability. In a city like this, she could likely charge up a lot of power, but that's assuming she has the time and clearance to do it, because if Yuji's anywhere nearby, he's not just going to sit around and let her charge. As for Maeve and Stormfront, they pose the same risk to Yuji, but his much greater speed and power is going to help him easily. Homelander could live a bit with long-range attacks, and his heat vision probably would be harmful due to the heat, but Yuji just has to outlast him. If Yuji ever gets close to Homelander, he's done. Homelander is the challenger here,
Yuji's
and that's
tough
only if
like
Yuji's
that.
blood manipulation attacks don't hit. His blood attacks are already supersonic, so besides A-Train and Homelander, this is too fast for anyone to dodge. But with Supernova, it wouldn't even need to be that accurate. And I did say we're not going to consider the fact that Yuji might have poison here, but it's worth noting that Homelander might actually resist that, because he stated to not get drunk or sick. But that's a big maybe. Either way, though, any of Yuji's
that don't necessarily mean he's going to be resistant to
his techniques
blood poison.
His raw strength would definitely be enough to do the job. Some of the soups have regen, with some being faster than others, but none are comparable to the level of Yuji's reverse cage technique. His is much faster and more readily available. And that's even if he needs to heal himself. And on top of that, Yuji could target the soul as well, completely bypassing durability. Not just with punches either. He could target the soul individually with Shrine, as he did in Chapter 263. Even with all those people, highballed against a lowballed Yuji, it's still unfair. If we use mid-ball estimates for everyone, it gets even more lopsided. Even if we threw Soldier Boy in, it'll help a bit, but it's still going to be a clear win in Yuji's favor. Or even if we used Yuji before he unlocked Shrine and Blood Manipulation, like I said, even without cursed techniques, he's still going to be fine here. And small note about that Blood Manipulation too, even if we included Newman or Marie, Yuji's blood control could directly counter their blood powers too, so...
Damn, that motherfucker gone.
The fact that their blood control seems to have a limit, like Newman couldn't do that to Homelander, like Yuji's the perfect counter to that. And they're not even a part of this. But that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think. I'm sure most of you are going to be on Yuji's side here anyways, but peace, everyone.